Hi and welcome to another video from me, Chris at DBG. We are NFL Fantasy Week 11. Let's see how I did. Can I get the winning results? Can I get in a playoff? It's crunch time. There, so you can see straight away, yeah, I won this one. Am I happy with a win? Hell yeah. Am I disappointed my opponent had so many buys that I was always going to win? No, no, it happens. I had it as well. So I'll take a win wherever I can, especially to get to the playoffs. Just go get to the playoffs. If you're struggling and we've got 2 games left for playoffs. Try and get there. Make some last minute trades. Just pump that team up a little bit. Take a gamble. After all, anything can happen in the playoffs. So let's go through the scores. This one, 65 to 130. I think it was our second highest scored week. So happy with that. Right, and Tannehill for 20 points, doing really well. Burrow always pulling it through for me at 26 points. Taylor Algier only 6 points. Taylor only 16, but it's coming forward. Hopefully go through. Henderson seems to have swapped teams. I dropped him, and now he's been dropped. But it does say he might be in Jacksonville, which should be interesting. I've not seen that news. Let's have a look. I don't know. I thought he was a free agent still. Correct me if I'm wrong. If he's moved to Jackson, it says Jackson Jaguars. He's definitely not on the free agent. Well, fair play if he is. Is he going to be utilised there? No, Travis Etienne is too strong at the moment. Well, 0 points for him. Nick Chubb, only 8 points, didn't really get off the ground. Christian Watson, could he be this good? That is the question. 20 points, 5 touchdowns in two weeks. Very, very good. Deebo Samuel, was worried about him on his usability in the team, but pretty much everyone in that team has the ability to go off every week. So glad he got off. Let's hope he got off in the final, so or in the playoffs at least. Jarvis Marshall, not really getting consistency there, only 10 points. Taylor Boyd was expecting more, especially with Chase out, but really has been underwhelming. Robert Tonyan, unless he falls over into the touchdown area, it's a tight end worth not considering at the moment. Dalton Shots, you would expect more, especially from what was a dominating game to Vikings, and as Dallas found, I'm quite happy with it. Marcus, 2 points. Fortunately, wasn't the wide receiver that week for Holmes. Hopkins, 18 points, becoming a real dominant force there. Really glad I do recommend if you could get him now or try and trade up for him. It's going to cost you a bit of value, but it might be a team-winning wide receiver. Baker, enough said. And Derek Carr, 20 points, doing remarkably well for him. I think he's a solid wide quarterback too. Could be worth picking up, especially on the playoff schedules. And Steelers, 0 points, and 49ers, 10 points, getting back into the swing of things. As you can see, he'll buy, Tua buy, gonna buy, and Alton buy, not really that much. But there has been a trade. Tua has gone to a new team on here, not in real life, just fantasy. On my bench, not really too much going on. Was it hoping that I'm not sure we'll get there, but he is a safety net and will become a running back 1 if anything happens. It's a CMC. Not that I wish that, but for me, fantasy wise, be amazing. For player wise, don't want that. I think he's a remarkable player to watch. And everyone else just getting standard points, not much. And Cooper, obviously I forgot this as well. Cooper injured. Will he be back? I don't think he will, you know. With the way the Rams are playing at the moment, if there's no opportunity for them to get to the playoffs, I think they'll just tell Cooper to rest for the rest of the year. And that'll be it, unfortunately. Next game was Raiders and Badlands. As you can see, these are tough games. These are must-win games for these people at the moment to make sure they get on the playoffs. 96 to 105. Patrick Mahomes, 27 points, doing remarkably well. Jalen Hurts, 23. Samuel's only doing 5, not doing well. That is where I estimate him being. I think he is a running back 2. Well, running back 3 with running back 2 upside. Austin Eckler, you're always going to start him every week. He's doing well. Andrew Murray getting a bulk at Ember, doing quite good running. And Montgomery with Herbert off, he is always going to start for me. DJ Moore, I can't trust anymore anyone in Cleveland, in Panthers. No, I'm done with that team. Doesn't matter who it is, I'm done. Diggs, 14 points, underwhelming, but hey, solid. Alan Azar doing well, 10 points. Wilson not doing well. And to be fair, that game was horrendous. That isn't a game to sell the sport to, unfortunately. Pat, great tight end. He is a starter every week for me. Hopkins, again, 8 points, but he's learning the place. He's being better and better every week. It's Tony didn't play because of injury. James Robinson didn't really do much. Again, it was a bad game. Aaron Rodgers really doing well. And Kenneth Pickett doing better than what people would expect. Giants, not great. And Bills, getting there slowly. On the bench, Robinson, 19 points, would have massively changed it. Yeah, would have played him for Tony. Or no, I would have played him for instead of Moore. Get rid of Moore. On the other side, Bio Metcalf and everyone else not really doing much. Would have swapped him in. Maybe Woods or Garrett. That's a tough deal. Next up, Isla Trump and Hitman. And Hitman getting the win and could put him above Matthew now. We'll see. And I'm playing Hitman this round as well. 108, 128. Lamar not really doing it at the moment. Could that change? I expect quite high upside this week. He's going to always be in your top 10 as a QB. Is he top 5? No, in my rankings I've got him at 7, I'd say, this week. Justin Fields, suffering from an injury. He needs the running upside. He didn't need to do much of the running towards the end to avoid hits on that shoulder. Could that be something? I think it could be. It's definitely something to watch out for. I got him as a low QB2 this week. Pierce, disappointing there. And Alvin Kamara, 12 points. You're expecting him to fly off, aren't you, at any point? But at the moment, it's very underwhelming. But 12 points is still 12 points. It's still a good starter, just not what you expect from Alvin Kamara. Mixon off injured at 9 points. And Derrick Henry at 24 points. Now, what's interesting between these two players is Pierce and Mixon were on Hitman's team, and Henry was on Trump's team. So, or Isla Trump was on Matthew's team. So, this week the trade did not pay off. Last week and a couple of weeks it's been working, but not so far. Mike Williams started and then went off pretty much straight after the first catch. I got intrigued. Is he coming back? I don't know. They might rest him for another week. You don't want him resting too long because then it's going to affect your playoffs. AJ Brown, bit underwhelming for him. He's getting the volume, but needs some big play opportunities and needs that touchdown potential. Gabe Davis, solid 11 points, quite good for him. He's got a low ceiling but a massive floor, massive upside. If he hits off, he's going to hit off. So 11 points really good for him for that. Mooney, 13 points, doing not too bad. Andrew started, he's getting back, 12 points, not too bad. Pitts, 7, but now in IR. Is he coming back? I doubt it. Brandon Ayuk, 16 points, just 49. A scary team on offense. Cordell Patterson, touchdown return king, but doesn't get anything after that really. Give him the ball. He's your best player. Give him the ball. And Jimmy G, I think he's coming up quite a lot now, considering his weapons he's got. He could just sit in that pocket. His weapons are going to open themselves up, or he's going to throw for 10 yards, or even 5 yards. The yardage after contact is massive for all of those players. Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, CMC, they're huge. So he's going to get, he's got a really good floor now offside with QB1 potential. And Robinson, good to see him back. Is it going to continue? We'll see. At 14 points. 16 for Dallas Cowboys. They just shot him out, didn't they? They did not. No one expected it. But wow, it was a great game. If you're a Dallas fan. And Ravens, 16 points, really good for defense there as well. On the bench, anything can different. I see PJ behind. Well, the fact is, if Mixon's off, you've got a star. He was off rails straight away. Himman, Williams and Dalton, that trade's only just come through, so it wasn't there last week. That was the trade for Tua, so they weren't there, so they definitely would have affected the other team. Joe Winston, well, we got Dalton as well now, so let's see what it is. And Jarvis Landry, don't know what's going to happen with him. And Beckham going out for a watching of Giants and Dallas this week. Let's see who he might play for. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, to be honest, but we'll see. Fennec Wanderers just scraping through the points. Lucky Tony. He is top of the table with 95, and he's bottom of the table with 88. So actually a close game. Could anything make a difference? Cousins, obviously shut out, could have done something. Zach Wilson, you just got no weapons, no offensive line. You're running back one, obviously injured and out for the season. Should he be blamed for everything? But the game was awful. So yes, that game should be blamed. Otherwise, I don't think it's all on him, but we'll see going forward. Stevenson having a great game at only 13 points, but he's getting the volume. He's an option every week. Swift, he seems to be getting the 12 points. Is he taking over? No, he's still obviously playing with an injury. Here's a bit of a committee. I'd say more Lions. We'll see how it's going to go going forwards. Worth a pick up if you're heading into your playoffs though. And Pacheco, 10 points. He's running hard, but Kansas Chiefs don't really have a running game, so it's hard to predict there. Michael Carter, well, it was a bad game. Justin Jefferson, equally a bad game. Only 6 points, expected 21. As you know, he can, as floors go, you're not expecting 6. You're expecting at least 10, 11 for a safe floor for him. So really underperformed, but that was largely due to their team, to be honest. Even with the scripts that went against them, you'd expect them to be throwing loads, but they didn't do anything. Now, Drake London, 7 points, unfortunately not getting enough to play. Was it McKenzie, just not really playing well and not getting volume. Just Palmer again, great game, had some great long deep threat. Are you expecting every week? If Williams is out, yeah, he's a good threat. I'd definitely add him if Mike Williams doesn't come back this week. Trevor Kelsey pretty much doing everything you would expect and more. He was all over the place and he was great. Greg, only 7 points there. If he's getting a touchdown, he's tight end one potential. If he's not, he's got an okay floor, maybe worth a start, but not top 10. So likely expecting Andrews not to play, but did, so he wasn't really viable. But there, and Foreman, fortunately, I think the roller coaster of him being so great has gone now. I think Panthers have got a real problem. Herbert coming back at 19 points, performed really well. And People Jones was, is doing respectively quite well as well, considering the team. Doesn't have much of a throwing game, but suddenly last week had a great throwing game, and that's why I'm disappointed that Chubb didn't get much. Eagles 9 points and the Raiders 6 points respectively. But as you can see, there is a lot of high players that were actually out. So even got a win, but he had a lot of players out. So think how good this team is, considering you're looking at going, how is that team 10-1? Well, it's quite simply because he's got Evans, Trust GTN, Waddle, and Jeff Wilson as well, potentially, all doing great. And Juju is on the bench. You come back, hopefully. On the other side, Elliott didn't know if he was going to play or game time or not. Would I start him to the Carter? Yeah, 100%. Brady on the bye, so you can't really do much about that. Johnson is not really doing anything there with Pittsburgh. AJ Dillon, Les Jones goes down. He's not doing anything. And Pickett's, you don't expect that from Pickett's. Then you had Geno Smith on a bye, so you had two quarterbacks on a bye, which is really dead. It really does mack up your team for a flexi league. And Kieran Allen coming back, didn't expect him to perform so quite well. Would I've started him if I had to know he was coming back? Yeah, I probably would have put him in. Potentially I would have put him in instead of Drake London. I don't know. Maybe too high a risk. But Elliott I would have put in, and that would have got you closer to winning. Next we have Dak, who's 8-3 now, and Chicago pulling in a great comeback at 4-7. Could he get in the playoffs? We'll see. On the other side, Josh Allen not performing to his wide quarterback one material, where Jones definitely is playing quite well at the moment. Don't know what that is. We'll see how it's going to go forward. I think I've got him as a sit this week. It's sort of a tougher game, but we'll see. Aaron Jones 14 points, didn't really get much, but 14 still a solid floor for him. Najee Harris getting 27 points. Where'd this coming from? For all the fans out there, you've waited 11 weeks, you've kept him. This is the same going forward. Saquon Barkley, that's very disappointing. They did not get a running game at all. Antonio Gibson of 13 points, not doing particularly well, but enough to get you in for a low running back 2. And T. Higgins doing what Chase would be doing, so good replacement there. Anthony Adams, he's the only offensive weapon in the wide receivers for Las Vegas and the Raiders. Let's see if it's going to go forward with that. St. Brown at 14 points, doing particularly well, and Pittman at 13. Hurst only 5, even with Chase out, not really a viable option. Kittle at 24, great for Kittle. Kenyon Drake at 6 points, don't expect much to happen in the running game. Ravens, you need Lamar to start pulling his game up. Connor 14 points, a bit nervous for Connor because he looked a little bit like he hasn't got his step back yet, but 14 points really good for him. Let's see if it's going to keep going forward. Prescott, 20 points, good to him back and performing well. It was a defense and offensive game all over the place, running especially. And Stafford now, obviously, still trying to come off injury and might not even play next week, so keep an eye on that. Patriots was just a blitz of defense, and Broncos -2. So what could have affected it? Well, everyone's got loads of buys. Goblin on a buy. Sean Watson isn't playing yet. Sean White's wasn't playing. Elliott and Davies at 13 points. We'll see how that goes as well. So Lawrence and Lockett and Mostar all on a bye. Herbert injured, and Hill a drop is a waste. But Gus Edwards, I don't know if he's going to perform when he comes back anyway. And Harris 10 points. He's not really the running back one there anymore. He's getting the scraps. Next we got Tampa 7-4 now, 116 points for the win over Cleveland Steamers, who is now 3-8, struggling to get the playoffs. Hopefully they can get a little run going. Goff only 6 points. Mariota 17. Christian McCaffrey 16. Cook only 7. It just needs to be better. They need to give him the ball. They need to give him the ball right. They need to do it. Otherwise, he is not going to perform like you would expect. But don't sit him, because if you do that, he's going to score 4 touchdowns. You're going to hate yourself. Jacobs having an amazing season. They're opening up LA points for him that he can run through. He's doing really well at the Raiders. Raiders are not performing particularly well. They're not winning every game, but give the ball to Josh and Adams. They're doing well. Singletary is 17 points, doing really good well for Buffalo. Considering they don't really have much running game, so let's see how it goes through. Despite the high score, Lamb didn't really do anything, only 9 points. It was all about the running game and quick passes, which didn't need much to Lamb, unfortunately. Terry only 9 points, not doing much. It's an offense that's hit or miss. There isn't really any consistency on what they're doing, but they seem to be pulling off wins, so it is what it is. And Ian Cooper having a great game, 31 points, high upside for him, and it's only going to get better. I really rate him going forward. 21 points for Chris Olave. He had a great game for the Saints. Let's hope it goes forward for the young rookie. Taylor Higbee, 8 points, and Hopkins only 3 points. Both low-end tight ends. You're hoping for a touchdown score quite a lot, like a lot of tight ends. Smith, 13 points, really good considering it is a bye week, so doing well there. Sutton, 13 points, getting that consistently for you. Gordon has now been dropped, but did get 11 points that week. And Wilson only getting 9 points. He's not really he's almost not starter anymore as a QB, more especially in a Superflex league. Saints 4 points and Jets 11. People on the bench that could have helped. No, everyone getting zeros. Pretty much everyone's injured in some stat, and on the other side there were buys all over the place. Tony Pollard of 31 points. That is the bench player of the week in this team. Would I have played him? Yes, and more so. Yeah, I would have started him above Wilson any time. He's getting the volume. Wilson's so bad at the moment. He is the running back one. Elliott was injured. Going forward, it is a committee. They do say that Elliott's the running back one, but the way Tony Pollard is playing, he is going to start every week. Johnson, I think he's a really good tight end. He has got consistent play at the moment. I'd be starting him every week going forward. And that is it. So let's look at the standings. We are currently third. I live with that. We are 7-3-1. Obviously, battling for playoffs is tight. Let's see if we can look for playoffs. I can remember where it is. Schedule. Playoff predictions. So I'm firmly there at the moment, but you see, look at the 7th. They're only 5 and 6, and then everyone else. And you have 8th, 6 and 4, 6 and 4, 4 and 6 rather, 4 and 6, and you have two teams, Chicago and Birds, both at 4-7, can take over that position to get into the final spot of the playoffs. Is it too late for Cleveland Steamers? It's definitely too late for lovers. Steamers, you got to rely on loads of things else happening, but you just got to win your games as well. That's week 15. It's not long. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe, all of that jazz. 3D printing videos for Warhammer will be up soon. Can't wait for that. Do check out all Instagram and our Facebook, where loads of things are going to be on there. Other than that, have a great Thanksgiving if you're in America. Otherwise, for the rest of the world, just have a good day, and hope to chat to you soon. Bye for now.